Hey friends, this is a really basic walkthrough of how to buy train tickets on Trenitalia's website. This is how you can do it and buy directly on their website so you're not going through a third-party vendor, and then I'll walk you through that, how to read the results, how to book the ticket, and then just a couple things that I think are important to know when you're going through that process. All right, let's get into it. First of all, I want you to make sure to go to Trenitalia.com, and then if it is not in English right away, you can go up to this right-hand corner and then you can select the English language option if it happens to pull up in Italian. Now, down here is we're going to put our from and our to station. So let's say we're going from Rome to Florence. So in this from, we're going to go from Rome at Termini, which is the main train station in Rome, and then we're going to go to Florence, and their main train station is Firenze Santa Maria Novella. Okay, so we're going to select that. Then next, we are going to select the date. I'll just pick a random next date, and then the time that we would want trains listed and after. So I probably want to take a morning train. I'll pick anything after 10 a.m. If you want to do a return ticket, you can, or change the amount of people you can, but we're just going to do this as a search right now. Our results section here shows us a variety of trains that are running that route. This is how you can read this. So this is the departure time, 10 a.m. from Rome at Termini. This is how long it's going to take to get there, an hour and 36 minutes. It's arriving at this time in Florence. And then I want to point out, you see here it says Frecciarossa. Frecciarossa are the high-speed trains. This one, for example, takes a bit longer, 3 hours, 30 minutes. You also have a change. You see those two trains there, and these are slower trains, the intercity and then the regional one. And you can actually see if you have changes right here. So this one just says details, means there's no changes. This one has a change, no change, no change. And then I think the one below it here does have has one change. So that's where you can look for that. And then you can see the different prices that we have for those different trains. Now, if you do pick a train with a change, you can click on this info button and it will show you where this train changes, which is a different station in Florence actually, and then how much time, which you have 15 minutes for that transfer time. Just to clarify, this here, this 9524, that is the train number. So that's the Frecciarossa number 9524. Whereas, for example, this next Frecciarossa is 9310. So that's how you can double check when you're at the station to make sure you're getting on the right train. Whereas these, you can see the intercity 588, the regional train 18222. So those are the train numbers. So I'm just going to select this 1010 train here for 44 euro. It's going to automatically give me the lowest price ticket that it thinks I qualify for. So it's going to pick that one. You can see you have different classes here if you want to upgrade premium, business, and then they have an executive class. I do like to upgrade to business sometimes, especially if I want like a silent car. They do have that in business. Now, before we hit continue, I want you to notice this choose seats option here. It's toggled off. I want you to go and toggle that on so that you can choose your seats and then click continue. And it might offer to upgrade you. You can just continue without upgrading. And the next screen that comes up is going to be my ability now to actually choose the seat I want or seats that I want. So the seats in green are ones that I can choose. And you can see here too where we are in the train numbers. So that's carriage 7, 8, 9, etc. Right? So we can go through and see what seat we might want. One thing I'll note, just a tip, is that oftentimes there are luggage storage areas on the ends of the carriages. So sometimes I like to be near an end just because then I know I'm going to be near my luggage. So maybe I want to pick this seat. You can see it's going to be €2 to pick that. Please note another tip, you're not going to know which direction this train is going. So people want to know, am I going to be facing forward or backward? There really is no way to know that. So if you have two people in your motion sensitive, you want to pick seats on either end here. I want to point out that these little gray bars are tables. So this chair is facing, 5B is facing 6B, okay? These are tables, whereas, for example, these ones here, 2B and 2A, don't have a table. They'll be facing the backs of these seats, so just help you orient that. Now, I'm actually going to go back and show you what it looks like if you go to a business class option, because if you pick a business class car, notice now we're in cars 2, 3, etc. You actually have an option to do a 2-seater here. So if I was traveling like with my partner and I wanted us to just have our own 2 section here, like 11D and 12D are open, there's a little table between us, that's probably what I would pick. So business class gives you that option if you're traveling as a couple, you can potentially just have that section to yourself. Otherwise, this is like a 4-top, right? And then also 2WC, those are the toilets. You're going to find those pretty much in any of the, most of the cars are going to have a toilet, but you'll be able to see where those are at. Okay, now just to give you an example, I'm gonna choose a seat. It's gonna charge me €2 to choose that seat. It'll be €2 per person, and then I'm gonna go through and confirm. And then here is where I'm gonna put in all my passenger details, etc. And I'm gonna be able to go through, they obviously offer you add-ons and that sort of thing, but then you're gonna be able to pay with a variety of options there. And then once I would enter my information, I would confirm, and then I would get an email. So then you'll receive an email. This is an example of one I'd actually purchased from Venice to Rome, and it'll have the Frecciarossa, the number of the train, your service, your coach, your seats there. So it'll have all that information, your QR code. This is all you need if you're going on a Frecciarossa train. You'll just show this QR code or the PNR number here to the conductor when they come by. This is an example of a regional ticket. You'll notice here that it says not valid for travel. That's because this is from Rome to, this is just a local little train I just popped on. So there's no assigned seat. It's not a fast train. You see that's regional veloce. That's a regional train, which means I have to actually check in and validate this ticket before I travel on there. So that's how you can tell when you get your email if you're gonna need to validate it or not. The email itself will have a link to check in and with the barcode there. So when you get that email, you'll have that right there for you. And then if I'm able to check in, I can do that right here, or I can manage that ticket. And just as a reminder, if you have an assigned seat on your train, coach 2, seat 4B, you don't need to validate, you don't need to check in. But if you buy a slower regional train, you won't have a seat assignment, and you do need to check in or validate that ticket before the train leaves or before you get on the train. Make sure to do that. Now, if you're able to download the Trenitalia app, you can do this all in the app and save your tickets on there. It's very convenient. Some people have issues downloading the app in their home country. So if you can't download the app, you can do this all via the website and email. And then when you get to Italy, if you want to download the app itself, the Trenitalia app, then you could upload your tickets to that as well. But you've got options at that point. All right, I know that was a really basic walkthrough, but hopefully some of that just helps if you haven't bought tickets yet for Trenitalia. And there is the other company, Italo, which works really similarly if you want to do it on their website. They do high-speed trains as well, but there's the Trenitalia walkthrough for you. Please let me know if you have questions in the comments. Just drop them in there, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks, guys. See you next time.